Thank you for having me. I'm from Hollywood Hills High School, as he said. Our group is called DOA, Determination Over Adversity. Yeah, Coach Kev, I see you over there. Um, the title of this poem is called Last Ghetto Black Activist, and I hope you enjoy it. Who's going to be the last ghetto black activist? Well, most of them don't have an education. You don't even know the half of it. Set a better example for the children. It's time to stop diluting our mindsets. I refuse to dumb down our cubs. We are starting to resemble Daniel and the lion's den, but we are the group of lions. We are a trial to ourselves for how much longer will you remain stumbling over your own pridefulness. Before they picked us off, they minimized the height of our desires so we could reach them more swiftly. Knowing we will always want the solution to be easy. Crooked games have stolen our minds from young ages. Why do you think we play manhunt? So you see who's the last man standing? No, to show you, same who are supposed to be on your team can slowly become ops. Don't wait till the body drops to be the big brother to the block you should have been from the get-go. Your baby brother Tamir has already been slaughtered. It only took 2 seconds. Your father, Eric Gardner, is gone. Has selfish ambition clouded you so much that there isn't precipitation? Where were your tears? Are we so numb to the point the only sorrow we can feel is when we can't get those Yeezys on our feet? Is the value of material more important than lives? Our actions prove that we haven't subscribed to a belief in the sanctity of human life from womb to tomb. So I'm going to assume you don't want freedom. You want your motives to be fulfilled by others watching others stain communities with riots and injustice system tearing down the wall of men in its path. Freedom can't be for one, it has to be for all. Do you believe in this human race? I believe we could be free from this one day, but I can't be the only one speaking from this perception. Are you going to speak with me? The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands in challenge and controversy. Our great activists must stand until we are silenced. Press forth with no need for violence. Breach the hates with love. We need to bridge the gaps. We need that Martin. Free at last. Thank God Almighty, free at last. The clock is ticking. Look and peep your hourglass. Take up the fight with others. Let's act fast. Until our grace period is swept underneath the doormat. There's no telling when we'll find it again. The world is diminishing. Destruction is what it's leading to. Lives shouldn't matter only when your kind is being attacked. Lives should matter when many nations rise up against Israel. Lives should matter in Africa when tribes are slaughtered. Lives should matter in your streets. So who will it be? Because there's surpassed leaders like John Lewis and Al Sharpton. Thank you all.
Education is a key to success. Without education, where will you be? How will you know, and what do you know? Back in history, blacks were considered uneducated, but that changed in different individuals. They changed society with knowledge, intelligence, and determination. But there are obstacles. With these obstacles, your mind will grow stronger, and so will your determination to learn. Education is a key to success.
Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Everybody gets that way. Yes, I agree with Hannah Montana. Everyone does make mistakes. However, our generation seems to do so at such a fast pace. These things called priority seems to be such a disgrace because likes on social media is what we like to chase. We complain about our world and how bad it is becoming, continuously ranting instead of actually doing something. Like Drake said, these Twitter fingers are getting out of control. We're all citizens, so get up, play your part, and do your role. But I guess us girls are too busy trying to look all cute for guys when our education is the one that should be valued as the prize. So remember, when you're at the mall looking for brands to buy, the one thing that can't be bought is this precious thing called time. So use it wise and don't be surprised when your grades are finalized and the only good thing about life is the makeup on your eyes. Ladies, remember, a pretty face can only get you so far in life, and every man wants a fine, clean, and educated wife. Now for my guys out there, you're trying to stunt for us too, fancy cars, stacks of money, and closets full of shoes, but as a female, I know that I'd rather you know a thing or two than try and toss my way a bag, a watch, or something else that's new. We place our energy and time into such the wrong place, thinking that all this temporary stuff has the power to replace the education, reputation, and motivation we should focus on right now. But no, all you want is paper, but you have to get it somehow. We're at an age where messing up is like taking 10 steps back, but I guess that doesn't matter because at least we have Kodak. And who cares about advancing if you know how to throw it back? As long as you have something to smack and a rack, then it looks like you're on track. But see, here's my problem with that. Society sets stupid standards, and honestly, none of it at all really matters. It's only important because we waste our time trying to fit in, whether we desire equality in wealth, class, or tone of skin. Our focus is distorted and must be refocused because we are almost seniors, in case you didn't notice. A diploma is great and all, but you'll need more than that, you see. So time to sit and agree on what you want to be and figure out how you're possibly going to get this degree. It's time for us to grow up and prepare ourselves for the rest of our lives, because at the end of the day, what we have up here will help us to survive. So social media and this idea of a social image can take a backseat, although I'll admit parts of this message will make a pretty good tweet. Thank you. Thank you.
Since the beginning of a time, it's been discrepancy between whites and blacks. Not only the color of our skin, but it's been conflict with what we wear and how we act. See, our minds are accustomed to find conflict where conflicts are fairly far. Though we may be a ghost to one another, cast spur, I'm here to say, we are. We still are racially profiled, frozen by fright like Medusa. But yet the richest man to ever live was a black man named Mansa Musa. People of color are empowered and been thriving with one another since the beginning. People like Charles Henry Turner was black, and the first researcher to prove insects had hearing. Back then, we helped each other, and it was from the heart. But now it seems as if society has been tearing our race solely apart. We're so blinded by the smoke, we don't see what's irrelevant and what's important. But we can see through the smoke with gas masks first invented by a black man named Garrett Morgan. The list goes on with the black man named Lonnie Johnson, who invented super soakers for kids to play with, not rough. And the first person to develop significant eye surgery was a black woman named Patricia E. Buff. There's many other unrecognized as a mystery, but Dr. King and Rosa Parks aren't the only people that define our history. We are one, so don't let people shed their grace to our ancestors. We are one, and family is what brings us all together.
Lyrical lines and bars that have been refined, defined, and intertwined to form a bond between words, collision between verbs, but for some reason it's a different name for different seasons. So let's break for a minute. Never mind, just for a second, because if I wait any longer, I think you might forget it. I don't completely believe the idea that we are free. We are bound by chains that we lack the sight to see, and you can't be what you want to be. Is it because of my social demographic is too graphic for your novels? Because my storybook doesn't have any pictures at all? They say to be an individual, but then judge me for who I am. Treat me like you would a pair of Jordans, you might get to know who I am. But maybe I won't let you. Matter of fact, forget you, just like you did in your second period of on the second period on your schedule. Just count me out of your equation and divide the paycheck you obviously earned since you can afford to ignore my 2 cents. I see eyes coming from every direction, except for my reflection, which only reminds me that I'm stuck in this social economic detention. It's almost as if everything I say is some sort of flat note within your orchestra of rhyme, as if my words are a lyrical bullet and my poetry puts holes in your heart and a black hole in your mind, and my very word deteriorates the meaning of meaningful. Social politicians determine the value of a sudden death of a sudden someone, but was it really sudden? Was it up for debate or just common conversation? Last time I checked, when a man played the violin, the strings weren't his nerves and the bass wasn't his wrist. But I'm tired of hearing the why did he, why did he, why did he? You know why he did and you did nothing about it. You watch him play the Symphony of the Seven Souls and let him write about his pain he feels. Lesson 1, the risk of a statistic. So for the story now foretold and lines that have become so old, here is my statistic for all you pessimistic, unrealistic, and sarcastic ensembles. You can break 1,000 people down and never reach the top. You can block us all you want, it's never going to stop. Kindness shouldn't be a gift, no, it should be a right. So forget all your shade, take a step in the parade, pick an apple off an orange tree and make some lemonade. It doesn't make much sense, but like the 1% in America, I'm sure it'll make a lot of bills. I guess I was born in the wrong generation. This generation knows no compassion, it knows no morality. The truth is that being an old soul never felt so cold. I miss the sound of trumpets blaring in the summer. I remember the laughs of children in the winter and the whistle of the fall. I feel like I've lived 20 lives and died 100 times, so I know when I say that my heart has no more strength to hold on to this train to the future. It doesn't. This pain in my chest has no word, so I will invent a word worth more than your morality, stronger than reality, bigger than your vanity, and kinder than your charity. Accept the meaning of this word as an aspect of your reality. So I will let a single word define an old soul like me, and my word is free. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name's Kat. I'm from Writers Inc., which is a Flanagan Poetry Club, and my piece is called How Dare You. How dare you put their names in textbooks and call it history, his story from the white perspective? Slavery is just a meaningless word in a meaningless chapter in a meaningless book taught by a teacher who's programmed to make sure we pass as if their paycheck depends on it. This is how we learn, if you can even call it education. School has been replaced with memorization, memorizing names without knowing their faces. Just know your due dates and you should be fine. We've already got the basics. Rosa Parks refused to stand, started a boycott, and caught a jail sentence too. MLK led the march and was assassinated for his thoughts. Malcolm X, a radical activist written off as too extreme by the common traditionalist, and Huey P. Newton, leader of the Black Panthers, but the only Black Panther you know starred in that movie Civil War. That's what this is, a war on race. Whites trying to prove their place on top of others. They think they belong, and we've been getting taught all wrong. Madam C.J. Walker eulogized as the first Black female millionaire. I never learned her name. Broken barriers led to a renaissance in Harlem. Blacks fought back using their culture as their greatest weapon, used jazz as a form of expression. Fighting internalized oppression became a daily battle, being herded like cattle into jails and morgues, and I never learned that in my textbook. I never learned that in my textbook. You see, history is taught in one class period with 4 blank walls, and all I'm seeing are blank faces, but as far as I'm concerned, this isn't history. This is a living art in motion. This is never to be condensed into a single chapter. This can't be taught. This can be lived. And how dare you have the audacity to call this education when in reality, it's just test preparation.
This piece is entitled, Just Why Can We Not Be Free? I have a proposed inquisition. Just one simple question. Do you want to be free? The government's supposed to grant it, but we still demand it. You knew the ship was sinking, but you still let us steer it. My generation is a product of Coke products and Coke. Media defining natural beauty, jabbing at insecure scars your skin deep. Injecting all these body parts, spraying chemicals, your skin bleached, whitewashing history. Are we truly free when waves clash but can't break the stagnancy of the Statue of Liberty? So we plunder countries searching for freedom overseas, and those same seas keep us asleep? Fluoride in our tap water, GMOs in our plates, barely earning decent wages. If we complain, police are called up to come over and oppress us, assert their dominance, and stand proud as some happily depress us. This is the land where they settled for freedom yet own slaves. Just why? Did you torture my ancestors until this day we are dying, fighting for our water, our freedom, our reparations on land stolen from us, legalize a pilfering system that will steal it all back through taxation? I don't understand why we don't take a stand. A martyr if they kill you, but if you remain reticent, you are the same as the one who you condemn. Blaming our future generations all obliterated due to abortion and miseducation. Just keep your hands up. But those chains won't let you. Officer kills you for complying, then gets caught lying. If social media caught him, it's a verdict. But if it's body cams, no indictment, laid off and still pay more than people in poverty. I'm crying watching celebrities speak about injustice after being paid a couple thousand, and that's who people idolize instead of Christ who bred us life. Lord, where's the light? Because the only one I see, Lord, where's the light? Because I'm trying to understand how it would have all made a difference. We elected a Black president who dropped bombs every 20 minutes for 8 years and earns Nobel Peace. Children living like children, they're now diagnosed and medicated. Opium addictions, purposely raising crime rate. Toss them guns, line them up, either serve a sentence or get enlisted. Just why can't we be free on this self-proclaimed land if money is value? And it's the only avenue is to attain wealth. That means it's not true wealth itself. So when we see a whip or a chain that we cling to obtain through stealing, it doesn't click in our brains that they are enslaved, just better off. And our greed and temptation makes us take it. That's why can't we keep our hands to ourselves like Congolese children? They will never make the news. But we should care about football games and Kim Kardashian photo shoots, right? So tell me, NBC, ABC, Fox, do you try to define us, thinking it will divide us, tell me that Islam is peaceful, yet Christianity is violent? Well, I must be a terrorist when I scream, Jesus, 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 look, Jesus, look. I see Judas. I seek to rebuke the propaganda, slamming out true speakers, honest teachers, gospel preachers, listening to a Joel Osteen. You thought it was sound doctrine, but you never heard of a Paul Washer or John MacArthur who are trying to set you free. Don't you want to be free? Reach for your back and detach the puppet strings. I just want to be free. I just want you to be free. Thank you.